So I really did not want to be making this video today. I wanted to be posting the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake reaction because I really enjoyed the movie. It was a fun reaction. Took a while to edit and posted it to YouTube, and it got copyright claimed. Not striked, not blocked, just claimed, which isn't a big deal. All I have to do is just either file an appeal, or it's not really called an appeal, I think it's just a counterclaim or something, whatever. And sometimes it goes through, sometimes it doesn't, and if it doesn't, whatever, I'll just re-upload it, I'll re-edit it so I can get it to a point where I can actually post it and it can still make money, because it's kind of bothersome when I upload a video and it doesn't make any money. It's not the end of the world. I don't need to be making money on every video, but of course this does take a lot of time. This is my job right now, so it is nice to get money from it. So I try to upload it as many times as I can until it gets to a point where it will be getting money before I officially, publicly post it to YouTube. But when I decided to upload it a second time after getting the first claim, YouTube, instead of just giving it a copyright claim this time, or even just blocking it, because those are two different things. You can do a claim, which just means you can't make money from it, or a block, which means no one can see it. But both those things still aren't that big of a deal because, again, I could just retry. I can just keep going until I eventually get it. It's annoying because it takes up more time in my day, but it's still doable. But instead, what they did is I got a copyright strike. And if you guys don't know what a strike means, 3 strikes on your channel within a 90-day period means your channel gets terminated.
You're terminated, fucker.
So I have a strike right now, meaning if I get 2 more in the next 90 days, that's it for me. And sometimes they even take down other channels that are associated with your email. And I have 2 other channels. I don't upload to one of them, but the gaming channel I have, I would be devastated. That's been 8 years of work put into that channel. Of course I'd be devastated. These are also my jobs right now, so it would be really nice to keep them. And the reason why this is so annoying is because, well, it's just simply not fair. If I was breaking the rules and I got in trouble for it, that's completely different. I would be like, okay, that's understandable. Like if you get a ticket for going above the speed limit, it's understandable. You were breaking the law. It is what it is. You get a ticket, whatever. But in this case, I did not break any rules. I did not break any of YouTube's guidelines, and I've read through them very specifically. They're fair use guidelines, the copyright guidelines. I've read through it all. I am going and doing it. I am. And there's plenty of other channels who do the same thing as me, and their videos are just fine. I even looked it up. There's plenty of Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake reaction videos out there. Plenty. None of them are taken down. They're all up on YouTube. A lot of them have ads on it too. So what did I do? Okay, I filed another claim. I said, okay, this is not fair. Let me get this fixed. And they haven't done anything about it yet. Hopefully they do. That's just kind of, working out. But that's a legal process. It's now going through a legal process. And I did a video like this a couple months ago where I was complaining about this, mainly in terms of the Harry Potter reactions, because those were all getting claims. But my issue was different there because there was other issues with YouTube's copyright system that was making it really obnoxious. Like, for example, they wouldn't tell you the entirety of what you need to fix in your video, what parts are copyright claimed. They would only say certain parts, so you couldn't accurately fix it when you go to re-edit it. And also, it would do it like a couple days after you already uploaded it. And that's kind of annoying. It's like, why can't you just do it right away? Why can't your system just detect that there's copyrighted material right away so I can fix it right away, rather than having it uploaded for a few days and then having to be like, well, should I take it down? Should I re-upload it? Or should I just leave it and just deal with not getting any money? I had a problem with it then, but with this situation, this isn't even really YouTube's fault, because actually YouTube does not have any say in what fair use means, really. This is a legal thing that is set in place by the US government. Now, obviously it's different country to country, but when it comes to US copyright laws, I read through this as well just to make sure I was being, not breaking any rules here. And the issue is, I can't even tell. And you know why I can't even tell? Because of how vague their laws are. I don't understand who came up with these. I don't know who did, but they have to make it more specific than how they did. I know there's so many different types of copyright out there, it's hard to specify it, but these are important laws to specify. How are you supposed to follow a law if there isn't any specific thing to base off of, any objective criteria? It's like, for example, they should be telling me how much of the content I'm allowed to use, because there is something it's called fair use, right? They kind of say just don't use any sort of content that isn't yours on your videos and you'll be safe, right? That's what they say. But there are exceptions, and fair use is one of those exceptions, and that's what reaction videos are. Those are under fair use. Now, when it comes to reaction videos to where they're reacting to the entirety of someone else's content, that's a little bit iffy, because you're reacting to someone's entire thing. Like that's where I even would draw the line. Like I see many reaction videos out there where they react to other people's videos, and it's like they react to their entire video. If they get the permission from the person, it's obviously not a big deal, but I've always thought of that as like, yeah, that's kind of a substitute for not even watching the original video in the first place. But a lot of you would agree, this is certainly not a substitute for watching the movie. You only are seeing maybe 10 to 15 total minutes of the movie within my video, and it's cut up clips, maybe 5 to 10 seconds worth of cut up clips. There's no cohesion in the video. And when I get a lot of comments saying, oh, show more of the movie, show more, I really can't without avoiding copyright claims. And this is even a terrible claim. It's a freaking strike. It's even worse than that. But going off of let's read the laws right now, because I want to read the laws. They have four factors in evaluating whether or not something is going under fair use, which is that copyright exception where you're allowed to use someone else's content. So the first thing, purpose and character of the use, including whether the use is of a commercial nature or is for nonprofit educational purposes. So basically what they're talking about here is, have you changed the content in a way that makes the purpose of the content different, right? I would say yes. Because a reaction video, the purpose for watching the video is not to watch the movie. You're not seeing most of the movie there. Therefore, the purpose is very different. And the purpose here is for my reaction, my commentary, my review, what I'm talking about when I'm watching the movie. If I was to just upload the movie and just have maybe my little thoughts here and there, but like have 5 minutes worth of the movie and then talk about it, like that would be a completely different scenario. And I would consider that, yes, to be something that they should be able to take my video down for and even give me a strike for if I'm posting a lot of the movie. That's a completely different story. But you guys have seen my videos. You know, I don't post that much of the movie. I try to cut up as much as I can so I can avoid getting these sort of situations in the first place. And some companies are really chill with it. Like Disney is very chill with it. I've done plenty of movies from Disney, and not a lot of movies actually, only a couple, but even like Disney Plus shows, they're so chill with it. I rarely have issues with Disney shows. There's a lot of other companies that are really chill with it as well. There's some companies that are not chill with it, and you just know, so I try to just avoid doing movies from those specific companies at all costs. When it comes to that first bit of criteria for fair use, yes, I am transforming the content so that is already it's already fixing one of the criteria. It's already under one of the criteria. Next up is the nature of the copyrighted work. Now, this is the one that I wouldn't say my videos go under, but this thing never says that you have to follow or all four criteria to be considered fair use. It just says you need some, which again is not specific enough. It says nature of the copyrighted work. This factor analyzes the degree to which the work that was used relates to copyright's purpose of encouraging creative expression. So basically, if you're watching things, if you're using content that is nonfiction, it's more likely to get copyright claimed than fiction is more likely to get copyright claimed than nonfiction. So for example, if I was reacting to a news broadcast or something, that's less likely to get claimed than watching like a movie. Movies are more likely to be claimed because it's fiction. And that, sure, I can agree that that's, this law, I'm not exactly following it, but it doesn't say, oh, you cannot use fictional work. You can only use, that's not what it's saying. It's just saying you're less likely to support a claim of fair use. Just less likely. It's not specific. It's being vague, which is annoying. The next one is the amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole. So that's what I just said before. How much of the content are you using? I'm not using a lot of it. The movies are like, what, an hour and a half to 2.5 hours long, usually, depending on the movie. I may be reacting to 10 to 15 minutes of the movie at a total. The movie video, the reaction video itself is about, 25 minutes usually, depending on it. But in terms of the actual movie content, maybe only like 10 to 15 minutes of that video actually includes content from the movie, because there's a lot of parts where I'm cutting off. I'm putting a black screen over the movie where you can't even see it, and I'm lowering the volume so you can't even hear it. So I'm not showing that much of the movie. I'm not showing that much of the movie consecutively, so I'm completely following the fair use guidelines there. And then when it comes to this one, effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work. So what this is saying is it going to harm the copyright owner's ability to make money? I don't think it is. Are you guys not buying the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake on DVD or Blu-ray or renting it because you can just watch it here? Again, no, this is not a substitute for the movie. There's no reason for you to watch the movie here because it's just not that. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for you to do that. Again, none of these are very specific. They're very subjective claims, saying the amount and substantiality of the portion. Is that a specific thing, though? It's just saying just don't use a lot. It's literally just saying don't use a lot. Well, what is a lot to you? You know, I don't know if a lot to you means 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 minutes. I don't know. It's like, what if they had, like, you know, speed limits? Imagine if speed limits said, like, instead of 50 miles per hour here, 40 miles per hour speed limit here, 30 here. Imagine it just said, don't go too fast. That was all it said. Or here it said, oh, you can go pretty fast, but don't go crazy fast. Or for, like, I don't know, 20, it says, oh, you can go pretty slow here. Imagine it was just that. No one would know what to do. I don't really know how much that should be. We have an objective criteria for these things, so we know how to follow the rules and we know how to follow the laws. So when we get in trouble, we can be like, okay, that's fair. We were going above the speed limit, or we weren't, or whatever. It's fair. It's something you can objectively look at. But this, I can't objectively look at what constitutes fair use. And I've been blaming YouTube this whole time. I have a lot of issues with how they handle things, yes. But in terms of this specific thing, yeah, they don't handle fair use laws. It's not up to them. So this is something that goes much deeper than YouTube. This is something in the government that I think needs to get looked at, because this is ridiculous. This doesn't make sense. It needs to be clarified to a, you know, much more specific sense, because look, I get it. There's so many different types of copyrighted work out there. It's like, how do you specify it for every little case? I know it's a case-by-case basis, and that's why they have things such as courts and Supreme Courts. So judges can look at this and then they decide themselves what they think should happen. But the problem is, I don't have time for this shit. Like, I don't have time to go through this whole legal process just for one video that's probably only going to make $20 to $30 anyways. What is happening? You know what I mean? So when it comes to the Texas Chainsaw thing, I mean, I'm gonna try my best to get it for you guys. I'm gonna try my best to get this to go through. If it doesn't, I might have to post the reaction video on Vimeo and then maybe post a link. And the issue with that is I'm obviously losing out on potential money that I could have made from the video. Again, this probably wouldn't have been that much money anyways, but you never know. It's still money. I still put a couple hours of work into the reaction, so it does kind of hurt when you can't get money from it. It's like working a job at retail or whatever, and you work like 4 or 5 hour shift, and at the end of the shift, your boss just says, yo, I know you worked a whole shift here, but I'm just not going to pay you today if you don't mind. Like, I'm just not going to pay you. You got to put into perspective like that. I try to give analogies to a lot of things because not everyone's a YouTuber. Not everyone understands it. They're like, well, what does it matter? You don't have to make money on every video. What does it matter? It doesn't matter. Who cares? But at the end of the day, it is my job. So it is important to me to be able to provide money for myself so I can continue to work on more videos. And that's the whole point of it. That's the whole point of making money, so you can put more back into the channel. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a thing that I love doing, this channel. I love, you know, watching movies. I love talking about them, reviewing them, doing all that stuff. But if it wasn't providing me money, I wouldn't have time for it, because I'd have to work another job in order to make money, because money is important. I need to pay bills. I have to. And if I wasn't making any money from this, then I wouldn't have the ability to spend as much time as I do on it. So that's why it's important to me that I can possibly make money from it. And those of you who support me on Patreon and donations, like, you have no obligation to do that at all, and I love the hell out of you guys for doing that. Any of you who do it, and even just watching my videos, that's more than enough support, because that's already, you know, supporting the channel regardless. But the issue is, I just need to try to get this worked out. And this isn't even a money issue anymore, because this is a copyright strike. I can't even post the video. You know what I mean? Like, if I can even get this just uploaded and it doesn't get money, I'd take that. I wouldn't care. It's just one, like I said, it's just one video. It does hurt, like I said, going through, you know, hours and hours of work and not getting paid for it. But I'm at the point where I'd rather that, at least you guys can see it, than not have it uploaded at all, and then my work just gone to waste completely. You know what I mean? And that's not even the biggest issue here. The biggest issue here is it's a strike. What if I get 2 more? What if random videos just get striked out of nowhere because these fair use laws make no sense and don't really have any specific criteria to them? So it's like, what the hell am I supposed to do? I know a lot of other creators have issues with this, not just reaction channels. Even any channels have, problems with this. Any channels that base their content on other content, which makes sense why people do that. People like movies, they like games, they like shows, they want to talk about them, they want to review them. It's just how it works. Just because you're talking about and making content about other content does not mean you can't be original. They act like, oh, you're using their content, therefore your content is not original. It's like, well, no. It's the same thing like doing a journal article for like a research paper or something, and you use other people's research in your own research to back up your research. As long as you cite their research and you don't just copy and paste their entire research project verbatim, it doesn't constitute as plagiarism. You quote them, you give them credit, and you don't need their permission to do that. You just you get user information and you credit them for it, and you put them in the references. That's literally what I'm doing here. Technically, I'm literally just using the video or the movie as a reference. Something I'm reacting to. I'm adding something to it, and obviously I'm letting you guys know who made this movie. In every single comments, I literally put who made this movie, what is the movie. If you guys want me to put a link to buy the movie, I'll fucking do that from now on. If you guys really need me to do that, apparently, I don't know, but that's just, to me, it's just giving free promotion of these damn movies anyways. I mean, a lot of people, sometimes they don't even know about a movie, and then they see someone react to it, and they're like, oh, interesting. They click on it, and they see like one clip in the beginning, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna watch the whole movie now. I'm giving you a damn teaser for the movie. And I talk a lot of good shit about a lot of these movies because I really do like a lot of these movies. So that's all I'm gonna talk about today. I don't really want to make this too much longer than it has to be, but honestly, I just wanted to do this because I wasn't gonna post anything else today because it was supposed to be a reaction video day, and unfortunately I just can't do that. I'm going to try my best to have a John Wick 3 reaction up as soon as I can, though. I am editing that, and John Wick videos have been doing just fine. I haven't had any copyright issues with those, so those should go up just fine. Hopefully that something doesn't come up, but they've been fine, so I'm going to assume John Wick 3 will go up just fine. And then after that will be the Wolverine, and then I even did a Psycho reaction. We did Days of Future Past. What other movies? Oh, The Conjuring as well. There's a lot of movies that I recently reacted to and will be up on Patreon much sooner than anywhere else. They're probably already up on Patreon at this point in terms of the full uncut reactions, but when it comes to the edited videos, I still have to get through editing those. And a Venom Let There Be Carnage review will be this Thursday, possibly a spoiler review as well. Maybe I'll do 2 separate reviews for that, depending on how much I enjoy the movie, depending on if there's a lot of spoilers to talk about in a separate review. Don't know. We'll see. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Let me know what you think about this stuff in the comment section below. I always think it's important to talk about this because a lot of you don't really understand it because, if you're not YouTubers, you probably wouldn't understand it. It makes sense. So I'll see you all later. Peace out.